Test. Is this thing on? Are you listening? Okay. Today, you will learn how to graph a line just by looking at an equation. It will make your life easy. You won't have to set up any of those input-output tables. This will make your life easy. So sit down and listen.
All right, so the first thing you need to know about is slope. The slope is always going to be the steepness of the line. It's going to be like if you go up and over, or down and over, and you'll see that more here in a few seconds. The slope is always the rise over the run, the up-down over the side-to-side, otherwise known as the vertical change over the horizontal change. The other thing you need to know about is the y-intercept. That's where the line that you're creating hits the y-axis. That's where it crosses over. So y equals mx plus b. This is the format that your equation needs to be in. This gets a little bit confusing. Now you recognize the y and the x. The m is going to be that number that's multiplying by x. It's going to be the coefficient. You'll see an actual number in there for m in a few seconds. The m always represents the slope of the line, the steepness of the line. The b is going to be the other number that's by itself. That's the constant. Right now it's a variable, but normally there's going to be a number in there, and that's going to be the constant. That's going to tell you where it hits the y-axis, the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and check this out. We have the equation up top, y equals 3x minus 2. Now normally we'd make an input-output table, and we would make some inputs, 0, 1, or 2, -1, -2 is what we've been saying to do. And then you'd work it out and you'd figure out the outputs. But now you can go straight to graphing without making the table. Watch this. Let's find the slope. The slope is always the coefficient, and we want to think of it as a fraction. So we could make 3 into a fraction by writing 3 over 1. The y-intercept is going to be this constant. Always remember to put the sign in front of it. So you've got this -2. The next thing we're going to do is mark the y-intercept. So we look at our y-axis and we say, hey, this is where -2 would be. Then what we're going to do, apply the slope from the y-intercept. Now this is where kids can get confused, because when putting down ordered pairs, you'd always start at the origin and go right 3, down 2, or whatever, and you'd always start at the origin. With these, you're going to look at it from the y-intercept. And the slope is 3, 1. If it's a positive 3, that means you're going up 3. If it's a positive 1, that means you're going right 1. So we're going to go up 3, right 1. So from the y-intercept, we're going to go up 3, right 1, and mark it. We're going to go up 3, right 1, and mark it. And you could even go, if you look, and if you wanted to get a few points on the other side, you could always go down 3, left 1, down 3, left 1. Just retrace the steps that you were taking. And you can get a point down there. And there's your line. And you didn't have to do a table. Makes your life really easy. We're going to do a few more examples of this. So here's another equation. Y equals 2/3 x minus 2. We're going to say the slope, well, it's already in fraction form. That makes life easy. And then we're going to say the y-intercept is -2. So here we're going to find the y-intercept. Hey, it's -2. Bam, there it is. Now on this one it says the slope is going to be 2 over 3. It's a positive 2. That's always your up, down. So if it's a positive 2, that means you're going upward with it. The 3 is positive down at the bottom. That's your horizontal change. And right would be the positive direction. So this is going to be up 2, right 3. Up 2, right 3. There we go. Now we could do another one, but we'd go off the paper here. So we'll go ahead and mark one to the left of the y-intercept. If we wanted to go backwards, you could think of it as down 2, left 3. And there we go. And connect those. And notice, this is what kind of slope is this? Positive, negative, 0, or none? It's going upward from left to right. It's a positive slope. Positive coefficient gives you a positive slope, something to think about. Okay, negative 2x plus 1 is our next one. We're going to mark our key things. We have our slope and our y-intercept. Our slope says negative 2. Let's think of it as a fraction, negative 2 over 1. Our y-intercept is a positive 1. We're going to mark our y-intercept right here. From there, we're going to apply the slope. Once again, you don't do your slope from the origin. You do it from that y-intercept. So in this case, we have a negative 2. Well, being a vertical and negative change, that would be down 2. The 1 is positive, so it's going to be right 1. Down 2, right 1. So from our y-intercept, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. And you could also go up 2, left 1 if you wanted to retrace your steps. You could even put a point up here and down here, and you'd still get that. I guarantee you that if you're uncomfortable with this, if you make a table and put in some inputs, 0, 1, 2, they're going to fall right along this line. I guarantee. So, and if you look at this slope, it's going downward from left to right. That's a negative slope, and notice how our coefficient is negative. Here's another one. We've got our slope and y-intercept. Now this can get confusing. A lot of kids are going to say, oh, I don't see a number in front of x. Hopefully you've been listening in class. How many x's do you see there? That's really 1x. So the slope can be considered, if you make it into a fraction, 1 over 1. Our y-intercept is going to be negative 4. So we find our y-intercept, there's negative 4, and then our moves are going to be, these are both positive, so that's up and right, up 1, right 1. So from our y-intercept, I go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, bam, up 1, right 1, there we go. And you can just keep on going. It's going to go down there. This would be what kind of slope? Positive, negative, 0, or none. It's going upward from left to right. It's a positive slope, positive coefficient, positive slope. So now we have y equals 1/2 x plus 3. The slope is that coefficient of x. In this case, it's already in fraction form. And then we have a positive 3 as the y-intercept. So you mark that y-intercept, and from here, these are both positive, so it's going to be up and right. It's going to go up 1, right 2. And then up 1, right 2. You could also, if you wanted to backtrack, get a few points over here in this quadrant. Down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, and so on. And there you go. Positive slope, positive coefficient. Negative 1/3 x. This is another one that can be confusing. Our slope, that one's pretty obvious. Negative 1/3 of x. We have a negative 1/3. Now you can think of this, you can attach that negative to the numerator, or you could have attached it to the denominator, but you don't want to attach it to both of them. So when you see a negative in front of a fraction, attach the negative sign to one of the numbers, but not both. The y-intercept can be confusing. Now we don't have anything here. Well, what number represents nothing? A 0. So in this case, the y-intercept is a 0. So we mark our y-intercept. Basically, it's at the origin. And then from here, let's see, negative over positive. That's going to be down 1, right 3. So I'm going to go down 1, right 3. I could have gone down 1, right 3. It goes off the screen. So I'm going to go backtrack my steps. Up 1, left 3, up 1, left 3. And there we go. You always want to try to get at least 3 points graphed, if not more, just to make sure you're doing things right. And here's another one. Now some kids might panic and see an improper fraction. Not a big deal. Just go with what you've learned. So we've got our slope being -3/2, our y-intercept being 4. Once again, I took that negative sign and just threw it up with the top number. You could have thrown it with the bottom, but not both. So we mark our y-intercept, and we have a 4. And then from there, we're going to do the slope, and it's going to be down 3, right 2. Down 3, right 2, and then down 3, right 2. And there we go. Negative slope, negative coefficient.
Hopefully that made sense. If you have more questions, ask your teacher, because I am just a nutcracker. I can't really help you. Also, there are some other weird equations that you'll deal with. So, just because you watch this video doesn't mean you should go to sleep in class. Stay awake. Goodbye.